Okay, let's start with a question. What happens when a guy who's basically grown up in the spotlight, selling out arenas with his brothers, suddenly steps out on his own and crickets? That's exactly what Joe Jonas faced after his 2011 solo album tanked. And here's what I find fascinating: this wasn't just a career hiccup. It nearly broke him. Physically. Mentally. So much for the myth that fame equals happiness, right? /n/n let's unpack this. Joe Jonas expected his solo career to blow up like the Jonas Brothers at their peak. Think 2008, when Burnin' Up was everywhere. But when his album Fastlife peaked at number 15, which, honestly, isn't terrible, he lost his mind. Panic attacks. Random body pains. A doctor telling him, "Dude, your organs are fine, go talk to a therapist." And Joe's reaction? Classic. Therapy? I'm Joe Jonas. I ride a bike and ignore my problems. /n/n wait, why am I so obsessed with this story? Because it's a masterclass in how success can warp your identity. Think about it. Here's a guy who'd never experienced failure. The brothers were a machine. Suddenly, going solo felt like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. And when the parachute doesn't open, you start questioning everything. Do I matter? That's the line that gutted me. Not did I fail, but do I matter? How messed up is that? /n/n but here's the twist. This isn't just Joe's story. It's a warning label on the music industry's packaging. We glorify these meteoric rises, the overnight sensations, the chart-topping teens, but nobody talks about the existential crisis when the spotlight moves on. And let's be real, Joe's not alone. How many one-hit wonders are out there tying their self-worth to Spotify streams? /n/n now, the therapy part. That's where it gets interesting. Joe resists it at first, classic masculine energy, right? But eventually pivots to DNCE, then reunites the brothers for that nostalgic cash grab, heartfelt comeback. Sucker hits #1, and suddenly Joe's fixed. But wait, was the problem the album's quality? Or was it his entire worldview? Because here's the thing, he didn't change. The world did. Nostalgia became currency. TikTok revived their careers. So was his solo struggle just bad timing? Or a midlife crisis in disguise? /n/n let me get personal for a sec. As someone who's watched countless artists crash after a high, this story screams deeper issue. When your identity is built on external validation, what's left when it disappears? Joe's panic attacks weren't about a chart position. They were about losing the only version of himself he knew. And honestly, that's terrifying. We've all got that thing we tie our value to, whether it's a job title, relationship, or Instagram likes. He's just came with a Billboard chart attached. /n/n so what's the takeaway? Therapy isn't a weakness, it's the only way to survive when your entire personality's been molded by fame. And maybe, just maybe, the real success story isn't the comeback, it's realizing you matter regardless of the charts. Which makes me wonder, how many more Joe Jonases are out there, quietly crumbling because they think failure makes them invisible? /n/n alright, drop your thoughts. Have we become too quick to dismiss commercial failure as just part of the game? Or is Joe's breakdown a necessary reality check about the cost of stardom? Let's go down the comments rabbit hole. I'll bring the panic attack survival kit.